Hello everyone, we're back again, this time with a tutorial for how to illustrate the layout that we made in a previous video. I'm going to start off by, first of all, just coming in and tidying up some of the details. Make some of the corners a bit nicer, just like this. That's the wrong layer. Need to come in with a smaller rubber. Turn off perspective and I can tidy that bit up there. A couple of other wee jaggy corners. Maybe change the size of my rubber down a touch so I can really sneak up on these lines. That's what I want to, that needs to be the room. And this one's the demonstration desk, let's tidy that bit up. Finally the window needs a wee bit of tidying up here too. And I think does that work on another layer. So it really helps if you just keep track of the layers that you're on. I'm still in the room layer just now, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten that bit up. And that corner, remove that black spot. And smooth that bit out there. Okay, that looks about set to go. If we press on the top layer, we can merge all if we have all the layers visible. And what that does, it just takes all the outlines and it condenses them down into one layer. Now, if you have a rubber, you were to rub through it, you would rub out everything. So it's just condensed all those layers down into one. And we're going to leave that one on top. So make a new layer, drag that one underneath, and we're going to start adding some base colour in. So my favourite tools to use this are either the airbrush or the vintage marker with flow set up to 100%. Now you don't get, you need to go over the lines a bit with the vintage marker. You can see it starts off quite faint, and the more you go over it, the more it builds up. So we're not going to use that one just now. Instead, we're going to use the airbrush at 100% opacity. And because I'm working on just one layer at a time here, I'm going to lay in solid blocks of colour for the walls first of all. So there's black, the one black walls. You can see I don't need to go over it again and again. Maybe to fill in some gaps that I've missed, because it is quite a soft brush. So I'm going to apply some colour theory here and have this wall be quite a nice light blue colour. And then just apply my airbrush over the top of it, like that. It doesn't matter so much that I've gone on to the table just now or outside the lines. I'm going to make my eraser a bit smaller so I can sneak up on this and then just erase all the bits I don't need. Zooming in, taking it a stroke at a time, because there's nothing worse than holding your eraser on the page like this all the way along, rubbing out a lot of stuff, then you accidentally go too far into your area that you want to keep. So just try and take it a wee stroke at a time. That way you can just undo one and go back a step. Doesn't matter about neatness so much inside the table here, apart from that section I've just rubbed out, because it's only the wall colour that we want to keep at the moment. I'm going to come in with a wee handy hint for texturing that tabletop soon. Too much. Too much. Need to put my glasses on. There we go. Wall 1 done. I'm going to go ahead and do the same on the other wall. And because this is far away from the first wall that we've done, it doesn't matter that we're working on the same layer. Just go ahead and fill in that whole wall, and then come back in with the eraser and erase this to tidy it up a bit more. because we've got these outlines so thick on these objects, we have a couple of pixels where it helps us out. It acts like a buffer. So if I turn this off for now, if I erase this section of floor here, maybe if I do it in a straight line this time, if we erase just this section of floor, you can see if I turn the layer off, it looks quite rough, but because the inking layer's on top, it looks like I've applied this colour in a smooth line. Yeah, on the ceiling now, and then we'll work around the window. Now, it is a bit important that you erase everything that you don't need here, because if you apply another colour on top, the other colour will show through slightly. Although we've got this set to 100% opacity, the other colour will show through slightly. I'm going to rub out this section of window because I want to put an even lighter colour on that later. There we go. It's already starting to look quite neat. Now I want the back wall here. I think I'll make that a lighter shade of orange. Maybe try and get a wee beige colour in. Make it quite a neutral colour on the back wall. Create a new layer for this one. Still keeping it underneath the inking layer. And just go ahead and apply that all over. Making sure getting right into the corners. And then it's again back in with the rubber. And a lot of this video is going to be in time lapse. So I'll just be quiet and go on, get on with the work. Okay, so just a couple of things I've noticed here as I was creating this, taking up this back wall. Most of the trim around the door, that's this section here, most of the trim around the door is white in our school. They're actually sort of an off-white, almost a grey, so I'm going to go ahead and add that in. And I'm going to add the same colour to the trim around the whiteboard as well. And in fact, I'm not going to make it a whiteboard, I'm going to make it a chalkboard. Instead of spending a lot of time faffing about with colours and gradients and trying to mix something, I've already downloaded a chalkboard image. I'm just going to go ahead and take in here, rotate it and scale it to fit. Now I'm going to get it to fit roughly, because one, I could trim it down again, or two, I could use these perspective handles. Whoa. I could use these perspective handles and drag these into the position that I need, like this. And if I drag this layer underneath the inking layer, I should see, in fact the layer is underneath the inking layer, so I can see here That looks pretty snazzy from a distance. On now to some more of the door detail, and on my inking layer I'm just going to draw in a window. Tell if I was in a black pen and had my perspective guides on, drawing a window near there. And I'll also just draw in a wee handle down here. Not looking for a lot of detail in it, just a rough handle and the back plate that the handle affixes to. Like so. Just keep it in black ink for now. We're going to be so far away we won't be able to tell anyway. But there we have the detail of the door. And in actual fact, I'm going to bring that line over just a touch to try and make it a bit even on both sides. Come back in with the eraser and rub out this line here. And there we have a nice window. We're not near texturing the windows yet, but following along the same vein as the chalkboard, I'm going to go ahead and add in some wood textures to these tables. So I have an image here, probably going to be too small. Yeah, very too small. I'm going to drag this over the demonstration table and just using the wee trick I used before, I'm going to drag this and cover up the tabletop, and it's going to change all the lines in the image too to make them look flat. Line that up roughly, apply that and then drag it underneath the inking layer to reveal some of the lines again. And if I notice a wee section here that isn't quite, just in this part, that's not quite lining up with the lines. So if I come back into the move icon, I move that about and turn on perspective again and just get it to line up. Once more, over to the other side and check there. Yep, I need to do the same thing here. So move and then turn on perspective and just drag that to make it line up. Job done. Okay folks, there you have the basics of illustrating your room. I'm going to go ahead and do all this off camera and I'll catch up with you at the end.